guys, how are you doing? I am doing super good. I am doing amazing like always. And I welcome you back once again on my channel. And I wish you a very happy new year. May all your dreams, all your resolutions come true this year 2024. I will be celebrating my third new year in Sweden. It has been 3 years that I am living here in this amazing winter wonderland. I was reflecting on my journey of last 3 years. How Sweden has changed me, how I am a changed person now, and what are the things that has changed in me or in my life. So this video is all about my journey of last 3 years living in Sweden, how Sweden is changing me as a person, how I am evolving, because there are some positive changes and there are some negatives. Since we have moved to Sweden, traveling has become part of life. Maybe the country is like that, it pushes you to travel, it pushes you to explore more and more, maybe because of the weather. Now we are traveling more and more. Now we discuss about where we would like to travel, which part of the world we haven't explored that we would like to explore in future. We are traveling more since we moved to Sweden, and of course we will explore different part of the world now. And the best thing about living in Sweden is that Sweden is quite expensive. So you also get paid based on your cost of living, and you also get paid really well. So when it comes to traveling, you can afford to travel to different countries. So you can really afford a luxurious travel, especially if you're traveling to Asian countries or if you're traveling to South American countries. You can really afford a luxurious travel. You can explore different part of the world. If you're working in Sweden, then you know that you get 30 days of vacation. In summer, people travel almost for a month. Even in the winters, during the vacation time, people also travel for weeks. So if you are living in Sweden, you have time, you have money, you can travel, you can explore a lot. And we are doing the same. The second thing that has definitely changed in my life is that I no longer have a lot of friends. If you are living in Sweden, then you know that it's really difficult to have friends. Your office colleagues are not your friends. They are just your office colleagues. You do not hang out with them after your office. You just do your job, come back home. Of course, there are 1 or 2 colleagues that you might get along very well and you might have a very good equation with each other. But in general, your office colleagues are your office colleagues, and you do not have much friends. At least I do not have much friends what I used to have back in India or back in Dubai. I used to party a lot. Every weekends we used to hang out to different places, and life used to be much more fun. And life is always fun when you have many friends around with you. But that is not the case in Sweden. Your family is your life. Go to office, you come back to your family, and your family is your friends. And it is much more difficult, especially for the single people who are living here alone. It is really difficult to find friends, and as you know, Swedish people are really reserved. They are really introvert. Swedish culture in general is called as coconut culture. Like coconut, it's really difficult to penetrate into the culture, to be part of Swedish people. Once you get into the inner circle, then you have a very solid bond. It takes years to be part of the inner circle. But yes, once you get into the inner circle, you have solid friendship. When I am reflecting my life before coming to Sweden, I used to be a really workaholic person. I was always looking for promotions, climbing the ladder, increments in the office. Of course, I had a personal life, but the priority was my career. But now I am a very calm person. I no longer look success as getting promotions in office. I am also more focusing on my family, having a wonderful life, having a child. Sweden teaches you to have a work-life balance. Of course, my job is important, my career is important, but my family is also equally important. I am giving more time to my family. Right now, I am on maternity leave. If I would have been on maternity leave in India or in different country, I'm sure I would have been thinking, okay, I'm losing on my career. In these 2 years, I will not grow career-wise. But that is not my thought right now. Employers in Sweden do not look down upon the mothers. You can still balance your career, you can still get the promotions, you can still balance your career and your family life. The definition of success has definitely changed for me. Now I no longer run behind money. I can afford the life I would like to live, and at the same time I can give enough time to my family. Now I believe in a sustainable way of life. Now I am more and more environmentally conscious. Of course, I was environmentally aware person earlier also, but now I have well adopted a sustainable way of life. Now I try to buy things which will last longer and which will be environmentally conscious. I also try to buy the second-hand goods. I started believing in second-hand buying. I try to buy from the vintage shops so that I do not have to replace the things multiple times, and I would prefer to live a really environmentally conscious life. And this change is definitely because of Sweden. The nature you see in Sweden, you really fall in love with the trees, with the animals, with the forest, and you do not want to harm them in any possible ways. And I am trying to live a environmentally conscious life as much as possible, for me at least. I was a kind of person who would like to have very spontaneous plans, just go with the flow, have last minute decisions, and sometimes I used to really mess things up because of my last minute decisions. But now I'm more organized, I'm more planned, because here, if you are living in Sweden, you do not have space to be unplanned. Everything needs to be planned. You have a weekly schedule, you plan your laundry. Okay, I'm doing laundry on this date, I'm going to meet my friend on this day, we have party planned in on this day. Your calendar is completely booked. You plan everything based on your calendar. Sweden do not give you space to be unplanned. Sweden do not give you space to be spontaneous. But I really miss those unplanned parties, unplanned outgoings, spontaneous plans. Just get up and going out with your friends. Just call few of your friends and plan something. I really miss those unplanned things in my life. In Sweden, life is really black and white. You planned everything, your calendar is booked, you do not meet your friends randomly unless you are really close friend and you can just drop into your friend's house. That is not the case in Sweden. You have to book the time, you have to book the calendar, you have to inform your friends quite early in advance. Okay, I'm going to come on this day, on this week. Please be at home, do not plan anything else, and then only you can visit a friend. Since we have moved to Sweden, it's been 3 years, there was no any random visit by any of our friends at my house, or neither we have randomly visited to our friends. Every time we have visited our friends, it was always planned. So I miss that spontaneity, I miss that unplanned things, I miss those unplanned parties a lot. I would say now my quality of life is much better in Sweden. We have fresh air. I do not have to worry about my healthcare. Everything is covered under social security. I am also not worried about my job. Employment insurances is great. The way the government takes care of its people is also amazing. So the quality of life is really great. I can afford a beautiful life. I can afford a life that I would like to live in Sweden. But at the same time, life is not luxurious. You cannot expect luxury. The society is built in such a way that you cannot afford to have a luxurious life in Sweden. Most of the times you travel by public transport. Even if you would like to travel with your own personal vehicle, you have to park your vehicle far away from the place that you would like to go. The parking charges is also quite expensive. Affording a personal vehicle is also quite expensive. The home delivery services are also expensive. You prefer to go to shop and buy things. We bought our house in April 2023. Everything that we needed in our house, for most of the times, we did it on our own. We didn't call for any kind of help for moving, or maybe for plumbing, or for maybe fixing the light, because it's really expensive to call handyman. If you are living in Europe, do not expect any kind of help. You have to do everything on your own. You will have everything that you need to live a quality life, but you will not have luxury. Recently, I have observed a change in me, that I am being a reserved person. I am trying to not have eye contact so that I do not have to speak to people at the public places. Even if somebody is approaching me, I try to not have eye contact so I do not have to talk to the other person. This is not good at all. I would like to be a very social person. I would like to be a easygoing person that people would love to approach, people would love to talk. But this change that I have recently observed in myself, and I would definitely would not like to be that person. Living in Sweden for last 3 years, we have bought a home, now we have a daughter, and we have a family here, we have a life. Me and my husband, we both are working here, and we have few friends, we have a life here. But still, I do not feel Sweden is home. I do not get the feeling of belongingness. Swedish society is quite reserved. It takes really a lot of time to feel the belongingness, and I have heard the same feeling from many foreigners, from many international people living in Sweden. Not only from the first generation, even few youngsters from the second generation feel the same thing, that they do not feel the belongingness in Sweden. Maybe because of the society is quite reserved, or maybe because of the cultural differences. The culture, the part of the world that I come from is totally different from the Swedish culture, from the Scandinavian or from the Nordic countries. Maybe because of the weather is completely different, or maybe I don't know the reason. But definitely I do not feel like home. I am missing the feeling of belongingness, at least yet. Maybe in coming years, maybe in year 2024, I will have that feeling of belongingness. I will feel like I belong to Sweden. I live here, I have a life, and this is home. I would really love to have that feeling. And I would say life is really messed up when you don't feel your home where you are living, because I'm not living in my home country, so of course that's not my home right now. I'm also feeling disconnected with India, but at the same time, Sweden is not my home yet. I do not feel that feeling of belongingness. So I am sailing into words right now. I would really love to have the feeling of belongingness. I would really love to have the feeling of home here. And I wish the year 2024 will come with that feeling of belongingness. And that is it for now. We have come to an end. If you are also going through a lot of changes in your life, if Sweden has brought a lot of changes in you, please write in comment section. I would love to read about you, about your life, and how Sweden is treating you. And with that, we have come to an end. I will come back again on this channel with a new video and a new day. Till then, please stay tuned. Bye.